Does ADHD ever make you feel like you're insane? I found a sheet. I was so excited. I'm like, I have to show them that. This is what I'm going to start using again. I just found it. And I think I set it aside so I could find it again. And I have no idea what I did with it. Same thing when I had to go through the trouble of finding a new primary care that I have. It's like Obamacare. I don't know what they call it. It was modeled after Mass Health. I have Mass Health. I'm not trying to give you personal information. I'm just saying, when you're dealing with healthcare, I will do videos on myself again, I promise. You have to deal with a bunch of bureaucratic systems. You have to go through lists. You have to find things that are in network. Since COVID, they were picking a primary care for me. And I'm like, okay, they picked a doctor for me. It was someplace I never went, and they weren't even allowed to tell me where it was. So I was able to backtrack and find the place, and they weren't even answering the phone because of COVID. I could call a million times and leave a number. They'd never call me back. So fast forward a few years, and it's improved some. I don't know if you guys have been following the Steward healthcare controversy in Massachusetts, but there was some corruption, and unfortunately, this is what Mass Health switched me to. So if you have state health insurance like Mass Health program, it's not, Mass Health itself is not the insurance. They give you a plan within it, and they switched me to that one. So, and then when I called there to make an appointment, see, this is where I think people with ADHD freak out trying to get health insurance. And I have met at least 3 or 4 people. 3 people, 4 including myself, that have trouble going through the process of getting insurance and getting a doctor. And so we just get overwhelmed. And then you're embarrassed because everybody else does it, and it's a pain for everybody, but they don't get anxiety attacks over it. And so then we don't take care of our health. We have to do these steps. We have to do it. If you need to recruit a family member, a friend, somebody who understands and is willing to listen and knows how with ADHD that you have, or autism, that maybe in some ways in your life you can manage it, and it's more of a, condition that's not as paralyzing, disabling, but maybe the executive functioning issues are yours, and going through that process to get a doctor is your issue, that you get so overwhelmed thinking about it. And then especially if you're older and you remember how difficult it was, then you add all those years of difficult experiences on top of the anxiety you already have, not knowing why you can't think straight to get through it. Find somebody who's understanding of that can do it with you. It's embarrassing. I have to do that today, fighting with a bank. I have to employ my mother's talents. And it's not because she's my mom and I need my mom to help me. It's she has a particular set of skills with her personality and working as a creditor type of person. So I don't understand, guys. I don't think it should be illegal. I'll just say this. I'm not going to get into it. I will just get really, really upset. I go straight from 0 to bullshit. And so I've had to give myself a couple of days to calm down. And anytime I think of it, I still get a knot in my stomach. So I don't know how long banks have been doing this for. I've been with Bank of America for 14, 15, 16 years. I have never in my life had this happen. Many of you guys know I struggle with ADHD and maybe autism, but I haven't been able to find an assessment yet, and that's part of the process I'm in right now, but it's kind of put on hold while I get caught up with going to the doctors. Exactly what I'm talking to you about right now. Yeah. So I know this sounds dumb, but I never cared because it never applied to me. So I knew that my account, it's just like a basic checking account, guys. It's not complicated. I knew there were fees if I stopped having direct deposit, and I knew about that. But overdraft protection, what is that? Like, why? How is it actually protecting you? Here's what makes me mad. So, because of their fee, which I get, I figured that if I had a bill and I hadn't called them yet to let them know, okay, I've now, over the months, run out of savings. I'm starting to go back to work now. I know I have to call my creditors. I know I have to call my bills. I know I have to let them know. But as far as I knew, when I ran out of money, that was my problem. They shouldn't let a bill go through. Now, fine, they let one go through, and I was already mad about that. So because of their BS fee, like, first of all, they let a bill go through that made me negative $50. I don't know about you, but I have not been able to buy food. I can't pay rent. I can't do any of that. I have been unemployed for like a few months as I've been trying to recover and get better. And now I'm dealing with trying to figure out what kind of job I can do so I'm not only working 1 day a week and then resting multiple days because I'm so freaking exhausted. I have to go to the doctors and get screened to see if I have a health condition that I don't know about. I have a friend on YouTube, Genevieve, who recently recommended for me to screen for Lyme disease, which I think is a great idea since my last home was in a wooded area and ticks were all around. It's common enough to find a tick on you coming into the house that it is not impossible. I'm losing track of what I was going to say. So I know I showed you the planner system I've been using. I was going to show you the system that I'm going to switch to, but I couldn't find those pages. And I just found them like yesterday. I also had set aside the phone number for the doctor's office because apparently I have to go to a specific place that they approve of. It used to be that you had a list of participating providers and you could go to that list on the website of the healthcare company you have and choose one and call them and see if they're accepting people. But since COVID, they really they pick it for you now. At least they didn't pick the doctor this time. And there were multiple places within the same complex. So I had to call and switch my primary from one office to another office. And I had those 2 numbers written down and I circled the one I have to call. And I had that piece of paper with the primary care phone number set aside specifically so when it was time to call, no matter how messy I got, it would be right there. It's not there. Now, I know I put things down in random places all the time. You know, it's part of what I've got. But I'm really mad about that because I already can't think straight because my mess has gotten really bad. So, and this is more important than tackling the mess. Yeah. So yesterday I called and renewed a script. So I did that off of my list. My goals for this week are renewing. So at least I renewing my ADHD script before I'm out of it for like a week. Because I don't remember until like the day I have no more. And I'm like, oh. And then I forget to call in because I get sidetracked. And then a couple days go by. So at least I called it in. I have some for tomorrow. Today or tomorrow, I got to go pick it up. Done. Yay, improvement. The other thing was I gave myself one thing. If I did one thing in the next 2 weeks before I see my counselors, just get that primary care appointment. Because I've been spending my time trying to get into better habits using my planner and spacing out, and then other times avoiding it, playing on my phone, and I'm not moving forward in life. So I'm shifting focus to less of regulating some kind of routine and more towards tasks to accomplish. Not cleaning, not self-care. I mean, I'm still doing the self-care things because I have to. It keeps me healthy, and it keeps my symptoms good, and it keeps it from getting worse, which is key. So I had to renew my script. I have to call and get that primary care doctor appointment. So I might have to go look up that phone number all over again. And I don't even know how I found it. I think I remember the town it's in. I don't want to call myself. Sometimes you're on hold for like hours. Anyway, so there's that. And then this thing that happened with the bank, which they let a bill go through, which I didn't think they were going to do. I thought for overdraft protection that you wouldn't get penalized and they'd let one go through, which I was already mad about. Because if I run out of money, that's my problem. Right? So I was negative 80. They let a bill go through they should not have. I don't need overdraft protection. Just don't let it go through. I'm broke. I can't afford that. And now they're adding all of these fees. How convenient for them, because they profit off of my poorness. I have no money to buy food and they are profiting. To me, that is predatory practices. So I know it is automated. I know it is a big company. I know it is a system. I was already upset and had mentioned that in the last one. And then guess what happened when I worked? I checked because I knew my first... Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it now because I can't not talk about it. So I figured my first check will come. It's bi-weekly. It was like $200 and something, $250, whatever. Which somebody can't live on $125 a week anyway. It's one day a week I'm working, and I'm gradually trying to increase it because I've been recovering and I have to find a different kind of job to do. So this isn't something I can just, old me could have just been like, hey, I'm poor, give me a bunch of hours, and I could have done it. Like now, if I do it, I'm going to push myself back into burnout, and I'm trying to get better, not do that. So I'm stuck. So I figured, okay, I'm going to call them and hopefully get this resolved so at least they can reimburse me that fee. So it was negative $50. Then they had a $30 fee for allowing that to happen, which, I've been a customer with them for so many years. Maybe I knew at one point what that was. So I figured with overdraft protection, they'll let you go below your limit once. They kept tacking on fees. And this is what I found out. So I'm thinking, okay, subtract the negative $80. I'm mad about it, but subtract the negative $80 from the $250. That I would have money, that I don't have to ask my family for money for food for my dinner. So I didn't bring food because I figured, well, I'll finally have a little bit of money and feel like a normal person again. And it didn't, my card didn't work. I'm at work. Okay. And my fiance's at his work. I just got there. I was just wanting a coffee and it didn't work. And I'm like, that's really weird. I should be paid by now. You know what rude awakening I had? it's negative $250 or $270. I'm like, how the F did that happen? And I'm scrolling through. So when my $250 came in, yeah, they took the $80. They allowed another bill to go through. And this particular bill, now I already have to call them because they're just automatically withdrawing. They don't know I've been without work. And this is actually a great thing for us to talk about in lives, is the ADHD tax. There's a term called ADHD tax. It's not literally a tax. It's a term that refers to the money that we end up losing as a person and spending more on things because we forget stuff. We forget to discontinue subscriptions we don't want. We forget a due date on a bill. We forget things. So we end up getting additional fees, or we forget about food that we bought and it goes bad. So we end up paying extra money than other people do because of our forgetfulness and executive functioning issues. And they term that the ADHD tax. So having ADHD costs money. So I've been putting that off. So they ate the $80. They let another bill go through from this one bill I have, creditor, that I owe money to, and it is set up for automatic, but they let another one go through, another $170 something. Okay, so I figured, whatever. I'm mad, but at least I won't have any issues with them, like affecting my credit score, which is probably in the garbage anyway. And then 2 days later, that same company billed another $170. And then Bank of America billed me $170 something fee. When everything was said and done with these bullshit fees and them allowing another 2 bills to go through, how is that legal? I didn't have the money. I had zero money. Do they not notice? Don't they have something in their system to notice when somebody's not getting paid over a period of time that something might be wrong? Somebody might not be employed? No, you know what they do? They penalize you for it. So the only way to not have fees is if the only fees I knew about were if you do not have direct deposit every month, you get a fee of 100 something, whatever. I don't remember what it is, but I didn't have to worry about that. But I wasn't sick before years ago when I set it up. I didn't have to take a leave of absence. So here I was at work and with no food. I didn't bring it with me because I thought I got paid. And when I logged into my account, I was negative $250 something. I will tell you, when I worked the other night, I was livid. I was so bullshit. I didn't quite get to anxiety attack, but I'm at work and I can't think straight. To me, that is that you're robbing me. I'm basically almost unemployed, and you're taking, and then the thing that's the kicker is that when they took out the $80 to begin with, the $50, it went over. So now I was negative $50, and then they added a fee of $30. Oh, you went under. Well, we're going to penalize you. We're sorry you're poor. We're sorry you can't buy food. This is on you. Shame on you. You did a bad thing. So now we're going to punish you. Now we're going to take more money from you. First of all, if somebody is in housing or or work insecurity, and then if you don't, and then they started giving me creditor emails and calls. You fucking let it go through. You're the ones, I've had you for like 14 years. You have to have a system in there somehow. Like I can log into my account and it can tell me exactly how I've spent my money that month. There's a pie chart. They know what money I've spent on what things, food, gas, whatever. So they can do that. Oh, it's convenient for them to have this automated system to not be able to tell what customers are in financial straits. Oh, we're going to make money off of them. So now I'm negative $250. And I'm so mad. I want to march down there, and I honestly want to threaten them. Like, I want to expose them on national television. They have, local news channels have segments. Look at your local news channels. They have segments to help consumers. And I honestly feel like this should be exposed. Apparently, when I was talking to some customers, they're like, oh yeah, they do this. I'm like, how is this legal? Overdraft protection? I bet you they designed it that way because they make more money. But fucking hello, now I'm negative $250. And one part of that is a $30 fee. They added another is $170 something fee. So that's $200 in fees over a matter of like 2 weeks. If I am barely employed, how do they think I'm going to pay that? And I've waited a month to get my paycheck because it's every 2 weeks. And I started working like basically just before they got paid. The paycheck was like a week after I started. So it was like, it ended up being just about a month. I don't know about you, but it's really hard to go a month without money. And if you have been without work for a while, to then go from negative 80, which should have just been 0, to negative 250 when you're supposed to finally have money, and now you still cannot buy food. And yet, because I'm in the situation, I'm not in a position of power to do anything. But I really do. I might contact Elizabeth Warren. I know she's going after some of these companies. Predatory. That one action, even if it's automated, I don't care. They don't care about me. I'm just one person out of like probably billions. I don't know how many consumers they have. But I'll tell you what. They're losing me as a customer. They cannot make this right unless they reimburse me the entire amount. I don't care if they took the money to pay a bill. They allowed that. They chose that. I didn't ask for overdraft protection. I probably didn't even know it was there. Yet they have all the power and the money and the lawyer, so they could probably say, oh, it's in the contract, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, short of me going down there and then freaking the hell out on somebody, but how is that going to help? That poor person isn't going to be able to do anything because they're just an employee. They don't make these choices, so that's not helping myself. So yeah, I don't even want to go up and talk to Mom about it. It is so fucking... I'm horrified. I feel like I'm getting raped by a bank financially. And I have no idea how to protect myself. And I have no money now, so I can't start another bank account somewhere else. I am effed. I don't know what to do. And I already had decided that I was going to go to a credit union. A friend of mine had recommended that to me, and I'm like, yep. And literally that was a few days ago when I was negative 80. So I was already upset, and then this happened. How is this legal? Can someone please explain to me how this is legal? So I went and put a lock on my account. My hand was shaking, I kid you not. I had such a hard time being at work and trying to figure out, because to navigate your account on the cell phone website was tricky. If I log in with a PC, they have like a chat bot that can come up, or like I can actually talk to a person, but I I couldn't even think straight to try to, so I blocked it. They tried to bill me something directly after that too. And they said, oh, your thing doesn't go through because there's a lock. I'm like, that's right. So yeah, this was going to be a more positive thing. And still have to do the dishes. Happy thoughts for today. Happy thoughts for today. So I'm going to do one of those things today. It's Thursday. I have today and tomorrow where things are open. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And I can't let it wait because they're going to keep adding more fees. I said, I'm going to close that account. And people are like, you can't close it if it's a negative. They can keep billing me all the fuck they want. I have no money to give them. And the thing is, they're going to wreck my credit over it. This is not cool. Okay, I was getting dysregulated. I'm sorry. I'm going to, is it lunchtime? Again, a video I thought was going to be like 3 minutes. 5 minutes is like another hour. It's almost time for lunch. I'm going to go do dishes. Have my lunch. And figure something out. I don't know what I'm going to do next as far as my vlogs, showing you my progress. It's not going to be like the 30 days, but I think I'm still going to be coming in and showing you the different things that I'm trying each week and what's working and what's not. I also want to do a video to show you what I learned from the 30 days because there are some takeaways from that. In my case, everybody is different. Every person with ADHD is affected differently. They struggle with different aspects of it as well as the severity of it. And I love you guys. And I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. I was trying not to talk about it. It's so triggering. What power do we have of consumers to protect ourselves from big businesses like that? That must be why they do it, because they know the people who don't have money have no power to do anything about it. Yeah. Solve at 7. I'll expose them. You know, I don't know. I'm tired of doing things the right way. I mean, as long as I'm not hurting anybody and I'm not doing anything illegal, you know. This has to be exposed. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll be back in a little while. I might do another one. My energy isn't 100% back to how it was before I started working again, but I think it's slowly getting better. And it's like molasses. It's so slow. And I love you guys, and I'm with you. If you're struggling, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. And I hope you do something kind for yourself today. I am going to do that. I am going to do the dishes. I'm going to eat. If you haven't taken your pills today and you need to take them to feel better, this is your friendly reminder to go take your medication. Pause this if you have to. Say pills out loud over and over if you have to redirect you from, oh, I started the dishes. Oh, you can literally have like 3 or 4 distractions between where you are now to where your pills are. Pills, food, protein, drink your water. I love you guys.